Yeah, that's me. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. Sit down and be quiet. We'll get to you in a minute. Sit down, shut up, and learn something. It's on me. I had the buttons not pushed.
So
See, that's what happens is you've taken away my responsibility. Like when I came in, the screen was already on and all that. So I just assumed, and I should not assume because I made an ass out of me and me. Commander Cody came in and
did his job like he always does.
Except for pushing the two buttons that matter the most.
I don't push
give us sound.
The ones that give us sound.
I did say
there are
Lisa
some that
Poole,
tune in and probably enjoy that soundless.
Right? It's like they just want to look at us. We're just eye candy.
Oh.
Did that camera get bumped again?
Speaking of, I don't like licorice. I don't like licorice. Is it licorice?
Licorice.
I don't like licorice, and as a result, that's finally all week we've been like kind of leaning. But the weather,
yeah,
brought to you by the great folks at AT Drilling Feed. 71 degrees under mostly clear skies, going to a high today of 92, and for the next several days, 92, 90, 92, 92. Tell me this: what is the little planet? Is it Mars that's hanging off the edge of the moon right now?
Ooh, I don't know. I haven't looked in the sky. Probably Venus or Mars. Usually, those are the ones that you see most likely and close to the moon.
Okay, so it's a free for all Friday.
Yes,
there's no telling what's going to happen here.
I just learned this morning that Martha Stewart and Jimmy Kimmel are cousins.
Well, he went to jail or she went to jail.
And he's been sent to broadcast jail. You know what I don't like about this in the wake? That Donald Trump, CNN reporting this morning. Let me see if I can find this because this is stupid. If he did this, this is scary. If he thinks this should happen,
yeah, it's a challenge. We talked about this yesterday, and it's Venus, says Commander Cody. President Donald Trump is now suggesting that the federal government could revoke the licenses of broadcast networks if they air negative coverage of him. That is what, is that CNN or?
That's CNN.
CNN inferred from Trump's remarks yesterday. He's not going to stop doing this, but he needs to stop just talking off the cuff. You know,
but it's not even off the cuff. This is calculated.
Yeah, I agree.
BS out of our president.
But he threatens like casually. Well, I don't know. Maybe we should look into that. Maybe we should just like, if he doesn't like Ilhan Omar, maybe we should just look into her citizenship. Maybe we'll just deport her. Well, she's an American citizen. She's a United States what? Senator,
congresswoman,
whatever. But I mean, I'm like, you know, you should.
But if she gained citizenship by illegally marrying her brother, as some suggest, then
right,
she wouldn't be a fraudulent citizen and she would be illegal. So I don't, but
so give me some Bluetooth over there.
So
it's just, we just don't want to get too heavy today. It's just Friday.
Trump told reporters he would endorse moves by the FCC to pull licenses and suggested networks should have to reapply for them periodically, and added that not airing conservative views could be a rationale for removing a network's license.
Turn it up. Remember this?
Bananarama?
Bananarama is correct. How many of you could go back to the 80s with me on this? You got to play it till you hear the part where I'll tell you when you got to play it. Phil. Okay. Right here, you got to let this rip it. Come on. No beat in the back. All right, that's enough. The FCC will be shutting us down, pulling our licenses.
They might.
I don't understand, though.
We used to sing that with different lyrics.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure. The wanker. Yeah, I'm sure you did. I look back.
Rhymes with Venus.
Easy.
Sorry.
Easy.
I'm your Venus.
Easy. That's got to stop. It's a family show. Greg Garcia's
I'm your
got
sinus.
sensitive ears. I keep going back.
I'm your
though.
booger.
I mean, you hear me say it all the time, that the left just falls into lockstep, and whatever Joe Biden said, then that was fine. That's what we're going to do. we can't fall trap to just giving Donald Trump free reign. No, we can't.
This started under Obama when Obama weaponized the IRS and the FCC to go after conservative pundits. There are a lot of conservative commentators that lost jobs, went bankrupt and broke fighting the IRS because the IRS was weaponized against them. Against, yes, them for their comments against Barack Obama. I don't agree with these comments from Donald Trump. I will not stand for this if this starts to happen. But then he said, I'll leave it all up to FCC Chair Brandon Carr.
Yeah, and I mean, right now is a great time for the president to emphasize freedom of speech. Right now is a great time for the president to say, look, broadcast networks can do what they want. In fact, in true Trumpian style, he would say, nobody watches broadcast journalism anymore. It's a dying art, like the failed New York Times. It's a terrible, terrible waste. It's a waste of airwaves. But if they want to keep losing money, I mean, it's up to them. I could let him do that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't need to say, well, you know, if ABC keeps jacking around, we'll just pull their license. It won't be any more ABC. That's not American to me.
No.
So I'm watching
That's
this
somewhat
closely.
fascist.
Yeah, I'm watching it closely for you.
Greg Garcia, Jordan Glass, Scott Tomko on the podium this morning. Mark Kurtz, Mark Zapata, good morning, Marina. Scott Snow, Marvin Mickish, Matt Boucher, Lisa Poole.
Seems like what Trump always does is reaches for the stars, right? And then he ends up settling for the moon.
You sound like Casey Kasem.
You keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. Remember when he did that?
After every show,
He
yep.
was so great. I'm Casey Kasem in Hollywood. He was. I don't know how he talked like that.
I don't either.
I never heard him interviewed. Did you ever?
No. He was always doing the
I wonder if he
interview.
just went, my real name is Fred.
I remember he married
Christian
Jean-
Brinkley?
No, that tall blonde that had the squeaky voice, Jean Kasem. Remember her?
I don't remember her.
She was like a character actress on various sitcoms and probably The Love Boat a time or two.
Oh. Keep reaching for the stars.
He did it with a scotch and a cigar.
He probably did, when you go back, that's one of the great things.
No, that
about-
was Wolfman Jack.
one of the great things about Sirius XM is like you can go back and he'll say, today we have a debut. It'll say from the Eagles. No, he says the Eagles have they've come on the heels of Desperado with another hit song. This band is really going places. And to hear him talk about things that now they're icons, little band from Liverpool. It's just crazy. I do love his voice. And so you can catch him on Sirius XM, like on the 70s on 7, and they do the entire show.
Yeah.
We're counting down the hits.
Well, that's the stereotypical DJ voice, right? Everybody tries
Yeah,
to
that's-
mimic Casey Kasem
Sure.
today and find their own little
Now you got
shtick.
guys like me that just sound like they need to clear their throat.
Absolutely. Makes you authentic. Doesn't make you right.
Right. No. It is unbelievable.
Or
Like,
endearing. It just makes you
people-
real.
people come, I'm loud in general. People come up to me at HEB and they're like, dude, I've heard that voice before. And I go, I always say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, man, I like your show.
Junior Samples, Judge Posey, Stephanie Connie, Greg Garcia.
I'm going to
Mark
go give a
Kurtz,
shout out this
Tammy
morning
Keelan.
to Ronnie Helt. It was good to see Coach Helt last night at the event. And he said, I listen to Carter every morning, and he's just as dumb now as he was in the 7th grade. Keep reaching for the stars, Ronnie. I love it.
Darren
Clayton
Murray.
was there. Ms.
Clayton
Helt
was
was
there.
there. Great group
Yeah,
of folks.
good group last night. Appreciate everybody that came out and supported.
I had
UHB
fun. The
Jaguars.
event was fun. A lot of money was raised. There were some really cool items. I was, what did that Yeti cooler or that Arctic cooler end up going for?
$2,000.
That
and
is,
then,
Kenny French bought that.
and
I
then you
think.
know what? And then he gave it back
That's
to
awesome.
Laney Glass, who created that. That's the one I showed everybody yesterday on here.
So that thing will end up being like at the soccer fields, just full of water and spittle.
Yeah, water. That's it.
Yeah. Oh, it was beautiful. She did amazing work. And there's Justin
Yeah,
Glass.
gotta
That
be
would be her
proud.
father, I
Would
think.
be, Yep.
And she did
She's
amazing.
been raised by all the Glasses, though.
all the glass.
You know, that's the great thing. They all, they're all there. Great family.
Yeah.
Heather Stewart says it's Decades Day at Cuero High School, so she's been doing a deep dive into her closet.
Isn't it scary? Like it's oldies day, and you just go to your closet and go, "Wow, I was going to throw this out, but I guess I can wear
Exactly. Grab your old Gap jeans.
Give me a little
and a
Bluetooth,
t-shirt.
little Friday fun. If my last name was Glass and I had a kid, I'd name her, especially her, Empty. It's a great song.
She's anything but. She's smart.
She's very smart. She's cute. Just look like her mama.
Good kid.
Good morning, Carter Castaneda.
Jarrett McCrugan.
Empty glass. That's great. I'm start calling Justin Empty. Empty glass, full heart. Good morning, P. Strauss. First Day Bank of Louise Astros update brought to you by the First Day Bank of Louise, the friendliest bank anywhere. Astros off yesterday. Thank you. Please drive safely. You want to talk about a kid falling into a pot of jam and having no idea what he's doing? Ryland got invited to go with a friend tonight to the Astros game. So this kid's skating in Astros versus Mariners, game 1 of a homestand series. Astros tied with the Mariners for the top of the American League West. He's not only sitting in the Crawford box, he's sitting on the front row of the Crawford box. I
Really?
said, 2 rules. Take your glove and don't reach over the fence. I go, feel free to catch anything that comes into your area, but please don't give the Rangers a home run that some car, if it's that high,
Yeah.
but I mean, don't give them a home run if you don't have to.
That's cool. Those are hard to see. Yeah. There's David Glass checking in. I got to tell you this. If you haven't seen the Legacy Band, because David and his band T and everybody that played after
they were great.
the auction, they were great.
They were great. No doubt.
Appreciate
I went up
them.
and said hi to them. They were great.
Yeah. No, I had a good time. I almost didn't recognize David. He's looking really good these days.
Oh, yeah.
There's Robert Zvesky. Jared McCrugan says Trump always chirps off the cuff, does not much of it. But the problem is he gives the fuel for the left to continue this. He's a fascist rhetoric, right?
Well, let's look at what Trump has done to the left. I want you to stop and think about this. Trump has gotten the left to embrace the Second Amendment. Sounds crazy, but it's true. Trump came out and said, I don't think those trannies ought to have guns. They're mentally ill. They shouldn't have guns. And while that may be true, the left will be, no, you've got to give the trans the ability to protect themselves. So the left is now pro 2A. And then just recently with the Jimmy Kimmel dismissal, which, by the way, it turns out that CBS was thrilled to get rid of Stephen Colbert.
Yeah.
And Disney, ABC just has wanted to get rid of Kimmel for several years and just literally use this as an excuse.
That's the thing. Tammy says it wasn't a business decision. The FCC hammer was fulfilling Trump's will.
No,
but see, what you won't find out if you look at some of the alternative sources. Dan Bongino's former site and a few others that behind the ABC has been wanting to get rid of Kimmel for a while.
Yeah, he's an expense.
Because he's costing them money. They're not making anything with them. He's not Stephen Colbert costing him $100 million a year. I don't know. Are you trying to find that? Or?
No.
But yeah, apparently ABC been wanting a reason to get rid of Kimmel.
And they found one.
But they didn't want to be the scapegoat and face the backlash. So they chickened out.
They gave him a chance to retract. Apparently, they've been hanging out on the set of The View. I don't watch The View. I don't consider them an alternative source. I consider them a kind of like the Hateful Eight here in Victoria. By the way, I think Jewel Buchanan would be great on The View. Oh, girl, you're right, girl. Anyway, when you look at Disney and ABC firing Kimmel, Trump got the left to hate Disney, the most woke corp on the planet. He got them to hate Disney. By the way, hats off last night to Del Papa Distributing for doing such a great job. A&M Victoria gave us a couple of drink tickets. Everybody was responsible, just a couple of tickets. And if you went to the bar, Del Papa said, no, I got this one. That was awesome. Hats off to them for being a great sponsor last night.
But it was a business decision. I mean,
Yeah, it was a business decision.
And the reason it was is because affiliates in conservative areas of the country were getting backlash from their viewers. So they said, you know what? We're just not going to we're going to preempt Jimmy Kimmel. They would have rather showed that babbling brook and the American flag that they used to put up late night on TV in the 70s and 80s instead of running infomercials all night. They would have rather put that up than more episodes of Jimmy Kimmel, because the local sponsors of these affiliates probably said, you know what? We're not going to advertise on Jimmy Kimmel anymore.
That's right. No doubt. I mean, like, you can look right here, our own ABC affiliate, right? That's Channel 25. It doesn't reflect, in general, their politics don't reflect the community at all. At all.
Justin says he prefers shot glass, not empty glass.
Right? I like shot. You name your son shot glass, you name your daughter empty glass.
Lager glass, Pilsner glass.
Yeah.
All sorts of glasses.
Fragile glass.
Melissa Hanson checking in.
Shrimp F2
Shrimp, ball.
Howard.
Yeah.
Double shot glass. Take it to the next level.
That's junior. Double
Yeah.
shot.
What's interesting is Ralph Salazar, the Hall of Famer, just sent us a text, and it said, you know, people are whining about folks losing their job over what they said. Imagine losing your life over what you said. This weekend on Sunday, they're going to have a memorial service in Phoenix for Tammy. Sure is typing a lot for somebody I'm not trying to have a conversation with. Takes up a lot of space on our program.
Joe Paul says, can you say something so I can dismiss you too?
You'd have to find a reason. First of all, we'd have to be wrong, and we're just not wrong. I mean, I've told you this.
Or lie. That's the other reason.
We don't lie.
Let's not forget. Jimmy Kimmel told a lie,
and then
to 1 million American viewers,
and then doubled down on it. So you've got people that have Trump derangement syndrome that are getting their news from these people that feed their syndrome. And then a guy like Jimmy Kimmel, who has some inherent credibility because he's on the air, and he comes in, and the next thing you know, he reinforces what they said with a lie. He didn't. I mean, he reported it as news. He didn't vet that. Yeah. There you go.
But I mean, you know, what people forget. The government dishes out these licenses. They control it. It is not a free market. They hand out the frequencies to radio stations.
But they don't do it based on content.
No, they do it based on how much money you have.
I think what gets me is, to a degree, Trump should leave them alone because they're doing a good enough job of going broke on their own.
Absolutely.
Just leave them alone. ABC is spiraling, bleeding cash. ESPN's practically off the air. That's an ABC company. I mean, ESPN is broke.
Well, what was it? 2 years ago, they decided to get out of the politics and sports, mixing the two business because they were finding out it wasn't a good business model.
Yeah, isn't that one of the amendments, separation of sports and state?
Yeah,
I thought it was there.
I think it's the 20.
We could have saved them millions and just told them that was a bad idea.
Yeah, it's the 24th Amendment to match the number of Stanley Cups the Montreal Canadiens have.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, Gary McCreary with a solid point. Where were you in your outrage at violence last week again? They weren't there.
Nope.
The left, if they didn't openly celebrate the death of Charlie Kirk, quietly among themselves, they said, well, he had it coming.
Erica Kirk, by the way, Charlie's widow, has been named the CEO of Turning Point. The organization's board made that announcement yesterday, according to CNN, and apparently it was a unanimous decision to do so.
It's always interesting to me. I mean, I'm not at all against it. I don't know anything about Erica Kirk except she's appears to be a loving wife and a mother of two beautiful children,
and I believe a former Miss Arizona or something like that.
Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know much about her, and I don't. You know, she wants to continue his legacy. I don't know that she'll.
I don't know that she'll be debating kids
No,
on college
I don't either.
campuses.
But she's got a pretty good story to tell about how somebody who was speaking their. If Charlie was on the left, he would have been speaking his truth, right?
Right.
Because that's how they frame things and how he feels. Instead, he debated with facts and logic, and the left couldn't handle that, so they took him out.
I think it's a great question. Like when you see people to ask them right off the bat, like how many genders are there? If they don't just immediately go, there's 2, then I'm not sure you should waste your time striking up a big friendship with those people. It's interesting to me that there's only 2 genders,
gender's
right?
a construct.
Because women are either, so they're mentally ill. I've known since I was in the 3rd grade that I was a little boy trapped in this body. And then how old do I need to be before I start taking a hormone? So they feel that they are men. They feel, so I could feel that I'm a door, but that doesn't give me hinges. So I feel that I'm a man trapped in a woman's body. And at some point, through science, which is now based in basically atheism, it used to be based solely on Christ. It was solely based on God. Scientists wanted to uncover the wonders of the universe. Scientists
I'm not sure leeching and
it worked, but I mean, scientists wanted to uncover. By the way,
cutting people open and letting them bleed out was
is
basically.
actually a place for that. But scientists wanted, like guys like Sir Isaac Newton, they were big theologians, big. And so now you feel something, and through chemistry, through science, you can take pills and drugs and assault your body with knives and stuff. And the next thing you know, you are a man.
Well, it was less than a century ago. Psychology was considered a bunch of quacks.
Yeah, well, that still is to me. You find yourself going, look, you're either a woman trying to become a man, or you're a man, more likely, trying to become a woman, because at the end of the day, everybody wants to be accepted. So if you're like that mamby-pamby dude sitting over in the corner, then the next thing you know, you're like, you know what? I mean, if I just put on a skirt, all these people will like me, and I'll be popular, and I'll be important, because right now, this is the top of mind subject. Transgender rights are at the fore
because this is
put it on a skirt.
Because this is the quote that that has been constantly taken out of context since Charlie Kirk died a week or so ago.
That's right. But see, Greg Garcia states it accurately. He says feelings are not the truth. The truth is objective, not subjective. And when you say there is truth, then you remove feelings, and the left is built on feelings, and that's just the way it is. It's how they feel. They feel so deeply. They care more than you, and they're smarter than you, and they can't wait to weave their words to convince you that you're an idiot. And you're like going, wait a minute, there's a guy and there's a girl. So even if you're in transition, you're not trying to go from, nobody's ever trying to go from being a girl to pick something, a horse. Right?
Don't forget, we covered that story in Europe where people were doing equestrian competitions, pretending they were horses.
Do you remember that? And I've seen the dog show where they go over the hurdles and stuff, but they're people. These people are like role playing.
These people are mentally ill.
These people are not right.
No. It was one thing when you were a kid, you galloped around like a pony, but you knew you weren't a pony.
We don't do that in America.
You're basically acting.
I heard a great deal the other day. The guy was saying when Charlie Kirk was talking at one point about DEI and how that it's not fair to anybody. He mentioned a guy, and we'll get his guy's name is Baird Ruskin, BAYARD RUSKIN. If you ever look up Baird Ruskin, I'll tell you who he is in a minute. But affirmative action and DEI and the airlines coming out, Ash, and saying, we need more black pilots. Okay, I don't disagree with that. We need more qualified people. It'd be great if they were black because, black, it's a good paying job, and I want black people to have jobs just like anybody else, but I want the best pilot I can get on an airplane because, it's pretty much a zero-sum game. Well, so you walk onto a plane and you see a black pilot, and if you don't, you're a liar. First of all, you're a liar. You're a liar if you don't go, man, I hope that guy's qualified. I mean, I hope he's not a DEI hire. I hope that guy knows how to fly this plane. Sure he does. Wouldn't be here, right? So that's not racist. That's not racist. That's concern for life. That's fear or fight or flight. But let's just say that next week, American Airlines announced, well, I just think that Tim Walz, we need more little people. We need more little people to be pilots. And okay, well, that's kind of weird. I mean, you're singling out people for their height. Okay. But you walk on to the airplane and you see two people 4 foot nothing. It's going to cross your mind. I hope these guys can fly this plane. I hope they're the two best pilots available. And that's not misogynistic or hating little people. Peter McNally very vaguely shouldn't even be a topic on a radio show. Where have we landed?
What shouldn't be a topic?
What is not a topic on a radio show? We're not talking about anything that's not on every broadcast in the country tomorrow.
Was he talking about the airplane pilots? He said, where have we landed?
I don't know. Well, he's not that punny. He's not that punny.
I don't know.
No. HR Mallory says, Junior Samples, honestly, Kimmel has had some funny moments, in my opinion, better than Fallon and Colbert. Now Matt Damon will never be on the show. That's a great point, HR.
Jeremy McCroom says he quit being funny a while ago. You know what's interesting with and people
Melissa Hanson 410.5 pilot. She'll be a pilot. You get on a plane with Melissa Hanson at the helm?
She could probably fly a glider.
Yeah.
Although you got to reach those pedals. I don't know. You got to sit on a foam board. You got to put blocks on the pedals to get to them.
Blocks on the pedals.
Blocks on the pedals.
Sure.
Okay.
No doubt.
You do one thing with the transgender that nobody that the numbers seem to illustrate, but get ignored constantly is because suicide is a mental health issue, right?
No doubt. Absolutely.
The highest rate of suicide in this country,
Transgenders.
but then it's not a mental health issue at that point.
No, it's because they're being treated badly by straight people.
Oh,
Yeah.
speaking of
Probably
which,
white people.
Speaking of which, you think Kamala Harris is going to take any flack over this? According to a new excerpt in her book, the only reason she chose Tim Walz as her running mate was because the pick she wanted, Pete Buttigieg, wasn't a straight white man.
Oh, like Kamala Harris, she thinks if she'd had
Harris wrote that Buttigieg would have been an ideal partner if I were a straight white man.
Do we think Tim Walz is really a straight? I got the white man part, but
I don't know what
he's
I have
weird,
always
but
kind of wondered.
What does it?
like,
What does it make that Buddha? How does? I mean,
So she's saying you can't have a black person and a homosexual on the ticket or you can't win. And while that may be true, you can't have an idiot as running for president, whether it's a man, woman, black, white, whatever. And Kamala Harris just had two strikes against her. She was a black female who was also
so she's basically saying that her party, the Democrat Party, would not accept her as a black woman and Buttigieg as a gay man on their ticket.
Right, because she had nothing to do with the ticket, and neither did Pete. And I think Pete Buttigieg is a really smart guy. He was a really terrible transportation secretary. Terrible. And I don't know what he did. What was he before that?
Mayor of South Bend, Indiana. Yeah.
I mean, have you ever
and I
been
don't
to
know what
South
else
Bend,
he's
Indiana?
done. I've never been to South Bend.
It's about the size of this office. That guy is so unbelievable.
George Glass says he could fly us right to the scene of the crash. Absolutely.
I agree with you, Pete. We shouldn't ever have to discuss that there's more than two sexes, but your party dwells there because it wants to get their vote. The people that feel differently, it wants their vote. Republicans
yet aren't enough to matter because it's like what 0.05% of the population
I'm not
is
even
what
sure
they
it's
estimate.
that high, and those people are all mentally ill, and none of those people should be allowed to buy guns. It's just fine. You can wear a skirt, but you just can't buy an AR-15. That's just
Because they don't want
mentally
ill people to be able to buy guns. Right?
That's right. There you have it. Let's take a break while you find something interesting.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah, apparently we haven't found anything interesting yet. Palace Bingo next Thursday. Palace Bingo, where friends meet friends. Period. Full stop. Moment of silence observed. Please come in, have fun with us at Palace Bingo. I intend to be there. USA Concrete Coatings, 578 home. Charlie Garcia and his team will come out and assess your situation, whether it's leveling your home, leveling your driveway, sealing cracks in your driveway. They can help you if you need to reach out to Zed Stewart and get some concrete work done. They can help you. Call USA Concrete Coatings today. Veracruz Restaurant, it is Chicken Fried Friday.
Last day of the day.
Get in there. They're not open on
Last day of the
Saturdays or
week. Nope.
Sundays. Get in today. They've got that special gravy. Get into Veracruz tonight. Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Allen's your go-to tow-to. You need to get from here. Peter McNair is maybe less than 1%, way less than 1%, way less than 1%. Yeah, half of a percent. Allen's will get you from here to there and solve your problems. Ash is going to read you some stats on the chopping block in a minute. The Dollar Floor Store for all your flooring needs. I can't overemphasize. If you're like, man, I got this floor and I'm tired of that purple shag. It's kind of sticky. The dog uses it and the cat buries things in it. Get by the Dollar Floor Store, whether you need tile, laminate flooring, hardwood flooring, whatever you need, they can help you.
Prices will floor you.
Absolutely. The chopping block. One more time, but louder. I like it. I want it so loud that people's radios pop. Amen. Give us the chopping block rundown for the week.
$14.99 ribeyes still on sale. Get there, stock up for the weekend. They might not have any left at that price, to be honest. That's a darn good price on great tasting ribeyes with just the right amount of marbling, because that's what makes a ribeye so good.
Fat.
Is the fat. Absolutely.
Fat makes it good.
If I'm eating with somebody, they want to cut all that fat out, just throw it on my plate.
Would you eat just the fat?
I do.
No, that's so Canadian. Well, you eat Prim and Click and Treat.
Barbacoa Boudin is
Cheese
back.
curds.
Chicken breast for $5 a pound. That's a great deal. And ribs for $3 a pound. So there you go. And if you simply give them your text or your cell phone number when you're there,
Start getting
sign
points.
up, you'll start getting points. And usually, I don't remember how many points you got to get before you get a free ribeye, but
It
they
happens
also-
really quick. I
but
can
they-
tell you
yeah,
that.
but
About
they-
every other trip, I get a free
There you go.
ribeye.
But they routinely send you 10% off, 20% off.
Yeah.
There you go.
And they
And you'll-
send you little reminders of what's going on. I do. I highly recommend signing up for that. White Trash Services and White Trash Site Services, 550-1826. Let White Trash help you have a trash-tastic day. If you live in the counties, they will. Oh, the Canadians are livid. Let's
Yes.
read that.
Because apparently more and more
Wow.
Americans are they're putting a maple leaf on their backpacks and traveling as Canadians.
Oh, that's easy. Just spending American dollars. White Trash for all your garbage removal needs.
CNN reporting that some American travelers are flag jacking.
And why would you travel as a Canadian? Because you don't want to be hassled for being an American?
Oh, I gotta subscribe.
Oh,
to this.
don't subscribe
I'm not
to
subscribing to
CNN,
these
do that.
leftist idiots
Yeah.
who need to have their license pulled.
The news should be free. No, that's the Bible. Pope Leo the 14th recently sat down for his first major interview since his election, where he voiced concern over some things happening in the U.S. Although not engaging in partisan politics, he seeks to work with bishops in the country. You're going to have to subscribe again to read that.
I don't know. Maybe not. See what he says. What's he concerned about? He didn't really say.
I was very happy to see how the American bishops picked that up, and some of them were courageous enough to go with that.
Rebuking
Referring
Trump's
to
administration.
public comments.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how you feel, but Leo, just enjoy the ride, brother.
Says the guy who lives in a walled city.
Right.
You can't go
Dresses in
into-
white all the time.
Which I mean, I'm not disparaging religion, but
No, I'm not.
there's
either.
it's an interesting
When I was a kid,
observation from a guy who lives behind walls and can't be reached, and you can't really immigrate to the Vatican City.
when I was a kid, my Catholic friends, of which there were so many Catholic friends, because it was Victoria, right? Their parents, that one generation back, my mom's generation, those Catholic folks really deferred to the Pope. I know you think you have something funny to say.
No, I hope that red dot on the window flag
It
is
does
kind of
just like a could be. You see
is
that
just
red-
a hole
you
in.
think somebody's looking at us.
No,
through a
they can't see.
scope?
They can't see through the window. That's the only saving grace.
Dun,
Unless it's coming from the other way.
Yeah.
And they're trying to
That's
get a
just
beat
their
on.
laser. I already took them out earlier.
Oh, okay,
Tell you
they're
what.
trying to get a beat on Commander Cody, and they
But
can't quite. Get down there.
now I would love your feedback. I would love your feedback if any of you that are Catholic honestly try to seek out how the Pope feels about
I
something
didn't put our phone number
as
on
you
the screen this morning.
as you deal with your life. I mean, I can remember as a kid, because children are ignorant, and we would say, like, so I was Baptist. Well, Baptists don't drink and Baptists don't dance. And I said, oh, well,
You didn't see Footloose, did you?
kind of blew that theory. But then you had the Catholics, and it was always like, Catholics drink, go to church on Saturday night, and they're always getting pregnant. And I don't know any Catholics now that are like, oh yeah, just be fruitful and multiply and accept children freely from God that have like 19 kids. I don't. But that doesn't mean that some don't. I just wonder what percentage now. Many of you are Catholic, and that's fantastic. I just wonder how many of you go, well, if the Pope said that, I better think twice about it. I don't think anybody really cares anymore what the Pope has to say, except the bishops and the hierarchy of the church. Am I wrong? I mean, I'm not trying to be rude.
No.
I'm just pointing it out.
Although Leo the 14th, being the first American Pope, brought some hope that the Western Hemisphere might feel a little closer to Vatican City.
Pope.
Yeah.
It was
But this is his first sit-down interview. I mean, it's not like he's out there just, and that's the difference, I guess. Pope Francis couldn't wait to talk about whatever the controversy was around the world. Leo's been very, very observant, I guess would be the word. He's sitting back watching, and I'll have to go back and see what the interview said because I didn't get a chance to really delve into it. But
he wanted to give you Pope hope.
there you go.
I like it.
This is interesting. Average Joe, which is not the average Joe. This is a newsletter that I subscribe to, but it's not the one on MSLSD, as some folks refer to that network. Americans will spend about $34 on Halloween decorations every year, but this is an interesting business idea. If you're entrepreneurial enough and you have an artistic eye, this might be something for you. Busy families are shelling out $1,000 plus. This is kind of like the guys that come around and hang your Christmas lights.
Right.
They're called pumpkin concierges, and they will create a stylish seasonal display in your doorway for you.
Offering everything from basic gourd clusters to cascading 96 pumpkin extravaganzas.
And they'll even handle the post-holiday cleanup for a fee.
Wow.
I think that's entrepreneurial. That's the American spirit,
That's
folks. I bet you this wasn't happening in Soviet Union. Oh, wait, they didn't celebrate Halloween. They just celebrated May Day.
Yeah.
Geez, why didn't I think of that?
That's a great idea.
Hey, I don't have an artistic bone in my body.
Well, if you find anything that is an opportunity to show off your wealth and requires any effort at all, there are lazy, wealthy Americans who will pay you to make it look like they did it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Started with their lawns and the hedges and the trimming of their bushes.
Yeah. Mark Zepeda adds, not how the Pope feels. He is entitled to his opinion. We do believe he is infallible on issues involving faith and morals. Serious Catholics follow church teaching, not individual popes' opinions. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that.
Perspective. Patrick Strauss says the Pope is human. I'll listen to him just like I listen to you and then make my own decision on what I believe. I hope you're not equating us to the Pope.
Yeah, we're not very papal. You have to believe in the infallibility of the Pope. You're wrong, Brent. Okay, Pete. I'm not arguing that. Because that's your personal belief.
Kathleen Leininger says, after the way Francis veered off course so often, I do care what the Pope has to say, but they quickly lose credibility with me when they throw communist social justice norms into their interpretation of the faith. Thank you
Fair
for
enough.
that.
Although I do think, and I don't have a problem with this at all. Christ often talked about politicians, and it doesn't bother me at all. I've never been to a church ever where the pastor told me how to vote. You need to vote for so and so and so and so.
And the church is always doing things for the community. And I'm not saying that's a communist or social just or a socialist norm, but they are looking after each other. But that's the interesting thing. It's of their own free will to do so.
Right.
And the people in the congregation can join them if they wish.
Right.
They're not forcing it upon anybody.
I just can't when the human spirit is involved. I personally can't wrap my head around the infallibility, and two people have used that term. I can't wrap my head around the infallibility of a man. I can't. He's a man. The Pope sins. I'm sorry, he does. He sins like everybody else. And if you look at the hierarchy of any denomination, but if you look at the hierarchy of the Catholic Church and its myriad problems that have come to light over the last 20 years, the rampant pedophilia, the rampant homosexuality, the rampant folks going against their commitment as priests, why doesn't the buck stop with the Pope? And why does any church, but especially the Catholic Church, seem to cover those things up? They get swept under the rug. Instead, you would think that the infallible one would come out and say, we will not tolerate this. For years from the Vatican, we've heard, it's not that big a problem. We've got it under control.
And we find out it was a pretty
Then
big
we find
problem.
out it was a huge problem.
And
So
they just moved them around from church to church and tried to hide them and keep them one step ahead, basically, of the complaints and the authorities.
I've never heard a pope say, I am infallible. And for that, I respect them, because at the end of the day, he's a dude from Chicago, worked his way up through the organization. And right now he's the head of one of the biggest mafia-like organizations on the planet. Their art collection alone makes...
You're walking out the front door first today.
Right, I will. I'm just saying. Patrick Strauss says, I don't think it's any more rampant than any other religion. It's just not reported on with other. I don't disagree with that. I think that there's sick people.
But there's no other religion that has the type of leader that the Catholic Church has, right?
Right. There's no other religion has that situation. I'll tell you what I know is rampant in Protestant churches. Pastors and secretaries. I mean, let's just be honest. That there's a lack of Scott Snow. Nice to know you. Hey,
the Illuminati is going to be on the Victoria Theater rooftop before
that's
women
a
leave.
hill I will die on. I'm just stating the truth, and I'm indicting Protestant religions as well. I mean, at least the Mormons just go, wow, what the heck? Let's have a couple of wives, but the Protestant church suffers from infidelity and philandering. There's no doubt about it. I think all these problems could be solved, and I defy you to find me anywhere in the Bible that it wouldn't make perfect sense for a Catholic priest to be married. I just let them get married. Why shouldn't they be miserable like the rest of us? They want to know what pain's all about. Let them get married, and then they go, yeah, I feel your pain. The last thing I want is some dude sworn to celibacy trying to tell me how to get along with a woman. I'm just telling you, that's lunacy. I'm not going to a Catholic priest for marriage counseling. You can bet on that. He don't know beans. With that, I'd like to welcome our 97.5% Catholic listenership on Magic 95.9 and apologize for my insensitivity in spreading the truth. You buying that? You going to use an Uber drone? How many times is little Billy going to go out in the yard and the drone's going to hit Billy in the eye, and then Amazon's going to get sued for $1 billion? Little one-eyed Billy sitting on the court.
Uber announcing plans to begin aerial food deliveries in partnership with a Tel Aviv-based drone operator. The service is going to launch in unspecified test markets later this year. Are they going to have like that bag that keeps pizza hot underneath there? So that, I mean, because I can't imagine flying through the air, your food's going to stay warm. If it's just on a little,
Right. No, I'm with you.
Cable with a hook so they can lower it to you.
Now so you're thinking that the drone won't actually come down. You'll come out, it will identify you, and then it will tether it like the Coast Guard.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Drop it on your porch.
Billy drops it and grabs the cable, and it pulls Billy up into the power line. Fried Billy. And the next thing you know, we've got another lawsuit. That is that's fraught with problems.
How lazy are we that we can't even hire somebody to drive a car anymore to deliver food to your
I saw a deal the other day. This will make you folks laugh. It was a concept of an electric. So picture the the Connex boxes they put on the backs of the big trucks.
Yep.
But now picture it kind of enwrapped in fiberglass, and it's got points on both ends, and it's very sleek looking. And there was an elevated like highway, 1 lane wide, and it's elevated, and these things are moving down that, and it's all electric. It's all,
so like
Tesla.
A track and
You know what it reminded me of?
What?
A railroad. I was like, why would it, if you're going to do that, why not? Right? If you're going to do that, by the way,
now that you point out how obvious that is,
follow each other on a designated pathway, and they were saying it's going to cost $10 billion to build this. And I'm like, well, for $1 billion, we could upgrade our railroad tracks.
All of them. For $1
I'm
billion.
like, come on, people. I don't understand. I just don't understand it.
Patrick Stroh says if it's in Texas, the food may be hotter than when it left the restaurant.
No kidding. Junior Sample says the Illuminati is not interested in Brent. I know for a fact. I will tell you this.
I know.
As our audience gets bigger, my temperance of my comments has grown. I try to watch a little bit of what I say because I would hate to have to.
Well, I don't know. You have to watch what you say. I think you have to. You've done a better job as we've grown in framing what you say.
Well, I appreciate that.
To not turn away viewers and listeners.
But at the end of the day, this is what's weird.
Because that's what makes.
I don't do this to get more listeners and viewers. I do this to you say you should. This is Dalla Ahala. He's like, money, money, money. I'm like, no. Truth.
Capitalist
Deal with the truth.
I believe in the American enterprising way.
It was great last night. For example, truth. It was great last night to see Vic Morgan. Dr. Morgan was at the event. Dr. Morgan, a little bit my elder, had fallen and is getting better. He hit his head and spent some time down, but he's sharp as a tack as always, but just physically was fighting a little bit. The brother man's here. That's fine. And it reminds me to always remind you, where's all that South Side reinvestment? Remember that?
Yeah.
I lost an election in part, besides being a white Christian, conservative, outspoken male.
Racist, man.
Racist. I forgot about being racist. It's how quickly we forget.
And a threatening person. Remember when you told somebody to be safe when you.
Yes. Who now adores me. It's Clara Ramos. I was at a restaurant with a bunch of lefties, a bunch of them. I went because they were lefty. And as I got up, Claire had been telling me about some problems that she was having. And when I left, I said, well, be safe, And she went and put on Facebook that I threatened her, that I was threatening to hurt her, and that basically I was trying to silence her. And I saw her the other day at Las Palmas, and she came up and gave me a hug. And we were united over, as Claire's had some health issues. And
we raised money to help her.
We raised money to help her. I've prayed for her, and not that that's any great gift. That's, I think, a responsibility. And
but what's interesting is it just shows you can differ and disagree over politics. It doesn't mean you have to hate somebody. But
I did not.
Too many on the left are in that way, and there's some on the right as well that I know that will not tolerate anybody in their life who doesn't think exactly like them. And I just think that's wrong.
I didn't disown her for being incorrect. And we've been friends ever since. So she's like, well, if I'm this crazy and he's staying with me, we got something going on. No, I love Clara Ramos, and she's become a dear friend. And I'm proud to say she's my friend.
Interesting. A state judge had
Come on
ruled
through, Billy
that
Man.
a ruling of deportation for Mahmoud Khalil, who is the guy that's been behind a lot of the protests at Columbia University. Well, he ruled that the state judge said that the deportation cannot happen. Well, a U.S. judge has now ordered that it can happen because, oh, guess what? He didn't put all the information he needed to on his green card application.
Right. So they're saying you can't deport him because he was anti-administration.
Yeah.
But you can deport him because he didn't do his paperwork properly.
According to the Epic Times, immigration judge Jamie Comans ruled that Khalil willfully misrepresented material facts for the sole purpose of circumventing the immigration process and reducing the likelihood his application would be denied, and ordered that the 30-year-old be deported to either Syria, where he was born, in a refugee camp, or to neighboring Algeria, where he also holds citizenship.
But you know what's interesting? This is one of those cases where, because it suits me, because I don't like Khalil, I'm perfectly willing to let him be deported. But you know what this reeks of right here? This reeks of the same thing that says if an officer pulls you over, he can find probable cause. We joke about the old baton to the headlight, and oh, well, you've got a headlight that's out. You know, that's an old joke, but I can't say that it wasn't true back in the 60s when they wanted to wonder why a black person was in the wrong neighborhood.
Yeah.
They would knock out their headlight and then, and then harass them. I don't know. Khalil, maybe good riddance. He's a 30-year-old guy hanging around Columbia University, mostly to cause political unrest.
And I'm sure getting funded by George Soros because he can't find a real job.
No doubt. I'm going to put the camera on the brother man because he's here and deserves it. We're going to give him the applause that he always requires. High maintenance as his contract is. Brother man, are you a little bit concerned looking at these contracts and these guys like Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel getting canned, that some of your extreme requirements of Wade and Carter might get you in hot water?
No, because each our own, and you guys.
And you bring value, so you're good.
You guys are good friends, and like you say,
family, sir.
You're family,
Yep.
and I love you, and your heart's in the right place, all of y'all.
What do you
Every
make
one
of
y'all.
have you heard anything about Christine
I just heard that this morning.
McShaughnessy? What's her last name?
From Florida.
I made it up.
That's sole finalist.
Christian Hardigree.
Hardigree.
Sole finalist for
Sole
president
finalist.
of A&M Victoria.
Can't
My
offer
wife.
her the job for 21 days. Got to wait 21 days.
Yeah.
And I saw that last night. And Ash and Brent, great event last night.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed
Ash
it.
did the whole thing on that.
Yeah, Ash. Yeah, we support him though.
Absolutely.
Baby. We support the boy.
Absolutely.
Ash, very good. And I talked to a lot of your kids last night. Everybody had a great time. And again, hats off to sports here, Texas A&M University Victoria, for a long time to come.
Her name is it not Christine? It's
Christian.
Christian Hardigree.
from
She's
Florida.
coming from Florida.
Mhm.
Did you see also where the Glenn Hager announced yesterday that the president of
President's gone. He
Big
resigned.
A&M stepped down?
Step down.
Mark Welsh's last day will be today.
Yeah.
Boy,
a
that
lot of
happened
stuff
quick,
going
didn't
on.
it? Fridays are a dangerous day, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah.
Man, and I mean, stuff going on.
In other news,
Hold your own.
Mark will be brought into the University of Texas system as the most conservative president ever. Yeah.
I love it. Big event for this weekend. You baseball aficionados, here's one for y'all. Y'all ready? 1985. You remember that year?
19,
Stroman
I
High
do.
School
Yes, sir.
state baseball champions.
Yep.
Stroman High School 40th reunion this weekend. And Brent Nash and Cody, I got the call that they're going to be here tonight and tomorrow. We're going to be at Riverside Stadium tomorrow morning. They're going to do a little ceremony at 10 o'clock. And saw the list of names. I taught most of those guys that are on that team. They're coming in, and that was Hody Ball back then. You remember Hody Ball? And of course, Hody passed away, a couple of years ago, Brent? I think about
Yes,
about
but wasn't Manny was on that team? Wasn't Ralph Escalona on that
all
team?
of them. Yeah, the boys, man. And I looked down the list and taught a bunch of those guys. They're going to celebrate. They're going to present Mrs. Garcia, Hody's wife, flowers and so forth,
Right.
in honor of Hody.
That's
We're going
awesome.
to do that tomorrow at Riverside Stadium. It's open to the public. Gates open at 8, 9 o'clock. I'm supposed to be there. 10 o'clock, we'll do a little ceremony.
Patrick Strauss with a totally unveiled stab at me
Uh-huh.
says, Brother Man, talk about UT's easy schedule.
Yes.
Weeks 2
That's
through
definitely
11, they
key.
play 2 ranked teams, and that's only because Vandy entered the rankings
But
last week.
how does that?
Easiest schedule in the SEC.
Well, I don't know. Somebody's got Samford. I'm just
Sam, you don't know
objectively
in 3.
looking at this. But here's the thing: 9 of your 12 games are conference games, 13 games. You don't control that.
You don't control
if the SEC doesn't have ranked teams, that's not on UT. That's not on A&M. That's not on Vanderbilt. That's not on Auburn. That's not on Florida. That's
Not on Texas
Kentucky.
either. Here's
No.
the deal. Before we came over to the SEC, all you ever heard was, well, you're just playing in the lousy 12 and you can't beat Oklahoma. Wait till y'all get over here.
Wait a
It's going to
second.
take you years.
Were they in the Pac-12?
No, it's
You
going to
can't-
take you
You
years.
can't talk about A&M. They're not playing this week.
No, but the fact is, it was like, oh, the SEC every week
Oh,
is
yeah.
a grind. And now we get here, we
Now-
have 9 SEC. Oh, the SEC, y'all got the weakest schedule in the SEC. The fact of the matter is, just like every other conference, the SEC has their dogs,
And
and,
I will-
half of them are dogs.
And I will tell you this, and this is true for teams like Texas. Everybody shoots to beat Texas.
No doubt.
They play their best game. They go all out.
Nobody
And if they beat
focuses
them,
on
the goalposts,
Kentucky.
But
and
you
the
know-
goalposts are coming down, right?
but you know
Those
what?
lesser teams.
College football is better when A&M and Texas are relevant and winning games and
Correct.
potentially in the talk for national
Correct.
championships.
That's right.
All of college football
Correct.
is
That's
better.
right.
Correct.
And this is a guy who is not a fan of either team. I will watch them.
Right.
Well,
Somebody gives me tickets, I will go watch one of those teams play. I'm not against that. And I will wear the school colors.
But
Troy
Patrick
Johnson.
Strauss says, why are the Aggies playing 4 ranked team in the same period? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I didn't make the schedule,
Give
but it
Patrick a
wasn't
hug.
done.
Give him
to-
a hug.
And the
I
schedules
love
are done
Patrick.
so far in advance. We saw
Cody,
Patrick.
give him a hug.
But the schedules are done for the most part
No,
3-4
we saw
years in
Lori
advance.
last night, and Patrick was with him.
Patrick, I talked to Patrick. I saw him last night. Yeah, well,
I
John
agree,
Paul Hull
JP.
speaks the truth.
100% JP Hull says, hey, the way Texas has played so far, every game is a tough game.
every
And
game's
it
a tough
is.
game.
And I can't disagree. But when you're telling me that the Aggies play 4 ranked teams in the same period, look, I can show you. I can just go off the top of my head.
The Aggies-
Alabama, Georgia, LSU. Give me another one, SEC, that matters.
I thought you
Alabama,
just said
Tennessee,
it
A&M.
off your head.
No, A&M doesn't matter.
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Okay.
Okay.
It matters to Texas. It's the
No,
biggest
no,
game.
no. I
It's the
didn't say
biggest game in the
that.
state.
I mean, give me teams that are nationally relevant
Tennessee's up
in
there.
the SEC every year.
Right. LSU, Georgia,
Tennessee hasn't been there for a while.
Alabama.
No,
Well,
but
Tennessee's
LSU
up
last
there now.
couple years. LSU, Georgia,
Georgia,
Alabama.
Alabama.
Those
Those
are the
three.
3 that really
Those
matter.
three.
Now, I'll give you 4 or 5
Then
that
there's a
don't,
bunch that are in the middle,
don't matter.
and Kentucky and Vanderbilt are usually at the bottom.
Kentucky,
Arkansas will play them tough.
Mississippi State,
Well, Arkansas, will play 'em
Arkansas.
tough. They're going to play them tough.
Arkansas. Those teams don't matter. Those teams, they don't
Here's
matter.
what really matters this weekend. The Astros and the Mariners are tied for
3
first in the
game
American League
series.
West and have a
4,
3-game
is it? 3
series.
games?
Three
3 games.
3 games, brother.
Tonight, tomorrow, and
They gotta
Sunday
win 2.
afternoon. And the Sunday afternoon or the Sunday game's been moved to 8 o'clock.
Love you, Patrick.
That was going to be a 1
Thank
o'clock
you.
start. That has now been moved to 6 o'clock because
That's
it's
the
the
game of the week.
ESPN game of the
Game of
week.
the week.
So
They
there we
want
go.
everybody
Absolutely.
to be drunk.
Well,
when that game
that because
starts.
it means something. Best of
Yeah.
they got to take 2, right?
Wait, you mean some of these things happen about ratings and not the way people feel?
Well,
Okay,
Well,
that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, those ratings are pretty subjective because it's viewership that counts for those.
Right.
The ratings in college football are very subjective because the Raiders base, it's their feelings that pick them.
That's right.
There's
That's
really
right.
nothing subjective in rankings.
I have made the comment that I hope the Aggies win out.
I love
do,
the
I do,
Aggies.
but they're not going to.
Some of our best friends,
We've
Aggies.
well, I've picked both teams to be 9-4 this year.
I hope so.
I made a bet with the guy yesterday. I spotted him the Ohio State loss. And I told him, I'll bet you dinner at the choice of the winner.
I didn't spot.
I
that
said,
one.
I will bet you dinner that at the end of the year, I'll go ahead and he offered it up, and I accepted that Texas will have a better regular season record than the Aggies.
Actually, let me rephrase that. I have A&M losing 4 and UT losing 3.
I still
You
have,
say
I had
UT
them losing
loses 1.
4. I had them losing 4
Yeah.
as well, and one of them was Notre Dame. So now I have them going 10-3.
And I had them losing to Notre Dame, so I'm wrong. But
Yeah.
I'll stick by my 4.
And by the
losses.
way, for whatever it's worth, while that was a wildly entertaining game,
We
and,
saw
and the
a portion
Aggies
of it.
did what they had to do, and Marcel Reed looked like a star. Marcel Reed is inconsistent, and Notre Dame is going to lose a couple more games.
They're
not,
0-2.
yeah, they're not like, it's not like Notre Dame is the Notre Dame that played for the championship.
Like
Just
I said,
as it's not like Texas is the Texas that went to the playoffs.
Texas has got a long way to go. We're going to tell everybody that our team has a long way to go. You know,
Cody's telling us to wrap it up, but I don't care. It's a Friday, and I feel good.
give him a hug, Cody. Give him
Cody.
a hug.
I almost left 10 minutes ago.
What else you got, brother? What are you doing this
Right.
weekend, sir?
Oh,
Tell our
like I
listeners.
say, the 85. I'm going to the East game. You're going West tonight.
I'm going over to
You're,
Beeville.
you're going to Beeville. Seguin's
AC
coming in playing
Jones
East.
Stadium.
AC
Yeah.
Jones to see
AC
the
Jones.
Trojans.
We're at Memorial with East and Seguin.
Awesome.
Let's see.
Beeville,
Seguin stomps them.
Beeville preparing prophylactically
We hope not, Ash.
to win the
We hope
game.
not.
I don't know. I don't know. I just
There's a lot of stuff.
Hey,
boys.
top of the hour. God bless you all. Have a great weekend. Vote Republican. Sleep tight.
bye, folks.
Bye-bye.
I've been locked up for driving.